Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs. She made her way 2/3 of the arena. She signed literally hundreds of autographs. She signed hundreds of autographs. And if you guys didn't see that game today, there were as many Fever fans as there were Sky fans.
Because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It looked like she took the city over.
People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles.
Angel, pray up. Me, Reese, I hope you listening. It looks like that line was for my precious CC. How she pulled up and...
Oh my God, you guys are not ready for what just went down in Chicago. Caitlin Clark literally rolled up to the United Center, didn't even play, and still managed to completely take over Angel Reese's home city, while Angel mysteriously disappeared with another convenient injury. The scenes outside that arena look like the
Now see, this the real version of walking your trap and take over your trap. Look at this. Look at that. All them jerseys. I would hate Caitlin too. And I wasn't even aware. Wasn't it supposed to be Barbie night or something? Come on, Caitlin walked in and took over.
Beatles had just landed, and I'm not even exaggerating. We're talking hundreds of fans going absolutely insane just for the chance to get an autograph from someone who wasn't even suiting up. But here's the kicker. While Clark was out there for 20 whole minutes, signing everything in sight, covering 2/3 of that entire arena, Angel Reese was nowhere to be found. And trust me, the irony of what happened next is so perfect, it almost feels scripted.
And she didn't even play.
So Caitlin Clark is not playing the game. And like, by the way, like, people didn't know whether or not Caitlin was playing that game until the very end. There are hundreds of fans that were there to see Caitlin Clark play on the off chance Caitlin Clark would be able to sign something. She was there. She spent like 20 minutes autographing everything.
What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap.
I think this is what means when you walk into your trap and take over. She in your city. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I forgot about that tweet. I forgot about the tweet. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. I just realized that. I'm like, oh my God, there's no way they came
Remember that cringeworthy Reebok campaign where Angel Reese tried to get all tough talking about come to your trap, take over your trap during All-Star weekend? Well, congratulations, Angel, because Caitlin Clark just walked into your trap and completely demolished it in the most humiliating way possible. The visual evidence is absolutely undeniable. Clark jerseys everywhere you looked in Chicago. We're talking about a supposed...
Took over Chicago. She signed autographs for hours. This wasn't no extras that was paid to come stand in the scene. No, these were real people trying to get autographs.
She understands the responsibility of being the face of the league. And I don't necessarily know if she wants it, but she understands it.
Who the biggest superstar? I'm waiting.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't know how you could ever imagine, like, how can you compete with this? How, what, like, come on, just leave it alone, Angel. And this is why I'm saying you be making yourself look crazy, because in all actuality, there's no comparison between you guys.
It was a home game for the Sky, and there were legitimately as many Fever fans as Sky fans in that building. Clark literally took over Chicago without even stepping foot on that court. And the whole thing happened while Angel conveniently had another one of those perfectly timed injuries that seemed to pop up whenever she might face some real competition.
We feel bad for Angel Reese at this point, and it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
She's better at everything.
And
she had a triple-double. She's tied for the third most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
Yeah.
The contrast couldn't be more brutal if someone specifically designed it to embarrass an entire organization. You've got Clark out there spending genuine time with fans who absolutely adore her, connecting with people who traveled from God knows where just to see her, while the supposed hometown hero becomes completely invisible right when her team needs leadership most. This is what happens when you try to attach yourself to someone else's success instead of building your own legitimate brand, because eventually reality comes calling and exposes the...
She's just better.
This is why I said, Angel Reese, you need to stop trying to attach yourself to this girl at every turn, because you cannot measure up. You don't have as many followers you have on Instagram. That is great. I will not take away from the fact that you are one of the bigger brands in the WNBA. You are a star in your own right, but you are not Caitlin Clark. It's a difference. It's a difference from De'Aaron Fox being at the All-Star game and Steph Curry being there. It's a difference. I'm sorry, it just is. You need to stop trying to attach yourself to this girl at every turn, because she has officially come to your trap and taken over your trap. Look at all of the fans coming from...
difference between authentic greatness and carefully manufactured relevance through marketing campaigns. And let's talk about the elephant in the room here. The basketball performance gap between these two is absolutely astronomical. Clark is tied for the third most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's only played 50 games. 50 games. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is struggling with the basic fact that Caitlin Clark is simply better.
Coming from all over.
This is what you call real results. This is real life. Caitlin on a away game to somebody y'all think is on her level, she walks in and take over. And it's outstanding. I'm pretty sure it was more people there for Caitlin than it was for anybody on Chicago team. See, online, you would think that the person on the other side, the person on Chicago, could even come close to Caitlin. And when in reality,
everything basketball related than she could ever dream of being. It's like comparing De'Aaron Fox to Steph Curry. Sure, Fox might be an all-star, but there are levels to this game that some players just can't reach, no matter how hard they try or how many Instagram followers they accumulate. The business reality is absolutely crushing for anyone trying to compete with Clark's market value. We're talking about measurable fan engagement that can't be faked through social media campaigns or manufactured through clever marketing strategies. Clark generates Beatles-level hysteria while injured and unable to play, demonstrating the kind of transcendent star power that goes way beyond basketball performance. That's the difference between someone who understands the responsibility of being the face of a league and someone who posts cryptic social media content from their couch during what should be showcase moments.
Put him in a ditch, and Michaela Timpson treating the Chicago sky like a bunch of Simpsons. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Might be scorching hot right now. You have been so good on the road lately. 6 straight games, 24 points a game. How are you off to another hot start in a hostile environment?
I think about just staying in rhythm. And when I stay in rhythm, about being aggressive. So as long as I'm aggressive and being myself.
But here's where this story gets even more insane. While Clark was busy proving her incredible connection with fans outside the arena, her teammates were preparing to deliver their own statement about what this fever organization represents when it's time to compete. Kelsey Mitchell stepped onto that United Center court and immediately announced her intentions by launching 3-pointers from every conceivable angle, finishing with an absolutely spectacular 35-point performance that included 7 successful attempts from beyond the arc. Money Mitch literally put Chicago in a ditch, and it wasn't even close. This wasn't just efficient shooting. This was Mitchell putting on an absolute clinic in shot making while turning a hostile environment into her personal showcase. Despite playing without their primary offensive weapon, Mitchell's performance was particularly meaningful because it demonstrated that Indiana possesses legitimate depth and multiple players capable of carry.
7 for 10 from the 3-point line off the start, 8 points quick. You knew, oh, Kelsey Mitchell's hot today. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell's hot today. This might be her game. Let's keep the hot hand in. Let's keep the hot hand going. Let's set her some big body screens, get her open. Kelsey Mitchell She did it all. 7 for 10 from the three-point line. She got to the rack. She got to the free throw line, carving up the defense, looking like a little snake, how she just slithers in and out of that defense. Kelsey Mitchell, salute to you.
She lit them up. I mean, she was on fire. On fire. She couldn't miss.
Carrying significant offensive responsibilities when Clark isn't available. The confidence and aggression Mitchell displayed on every possession showed a player who completely understood the magnitude of this moment and refused to let her team lose a highly winnable game. The supporting cast was equally impressive across the board. Aaliyah Boston contributed 14 points and 11 rebounds while establishing complete control in the paint, making life absolutely miserable for Chicago's front court players who had no effective answers for her combination of size, athleticism, and basketball intelligence. Aari McDonald provided 10 crucial points off the bench, continuing her remarkable story of stepping up whenever this organization needs unexpected production. Even Chloe Bibby, who just got picked up by the team, managed to score 8 points in her debut performance, lasting just over 10 minutes.
I mean, everything was in the flow of the offense. Effortless, man. We gotta give love to Kelsey Mitchell. 12 of 19 from the floor, 7 of 10 from 3, 35 points. Straight stirring the pot. Stirring the pot. She was cooking their ass today. Kelsey Mitchell was on one. She was on one. She was a plus 25 for the game. The Chicago Sky are a flat-out joke. This team is terrible.
And Kelsey Mitchell had a gargantuan game. Of course, Stephanie White, instead of letting her roll, took her out of the game. I don't understand what the deal is with that.
When you look at the final numbers, this game wasn't even as close as the 15-point margin suggests. The Fever shot an incredible 48% from three-point range while holding Chicago to just 31% from beyond the arc, creating exactly the kind of statistical disparity that turns competitive games into comfortable victories. Indiana recorded 24 assists on 34 made field goals, while Chicago managed just 16 assists on their 29 successful shots, showing the difference between unselfish team play and whatever chaos was happening on the other side. The rebounding advantage for Indiana becomes even more impressive than you realize they were playing smaller lineups for significant portions of the game, relying on effort and positioning rather than pure size to control the glass. They out-rebounded Chicago 42-35, despite having what many would consider inferior size and athleticism in their front court rotation.
Solid game, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, only 3 turnovers, a plus 15 on the court, 5 for 9 from the field. She shot efficiently, and 2 steals, 2 blocks as well. So defensively, she did what she needed to do. I think they might have robbed her 1 assist. I think she really had 7 assists. They kept talking about it on the broadcast.
Chloe Bibby made her introduction to the Indiana Fever today right
These
after.
kinds of fundamental basketball metrics don't lie about which team was better prepared and more committed to executing their game plan at a professional level. But Chicago's problems extend far beyond just this single embarrassing loss. They've now dropped 4 consecutive games while dealing with a mounting list of injuries and roster complications that have completely derailed what many expected to be a competitive season. The Sky entered this matchup with legitimate questions about their coaching stability, roster construction, and overall organizational direction after a series of disappointing performances that have left them fighting for basic respectability rather than playoff positioning.
Right after getting picked up 8 points in 10 minutes and 48 seconds. She outscored Natasha Howard, who only played 12 minutes.
Aari McDonald, 10 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. Aari McDonald, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston.
The coaching situation has become particularly problematic with visible frustration from players and questionable strategic decisions that have contributed to their recent slide down the standings. Their inability to compete effectively at home against a short-handed Indiana team raises serious concerns about the fundamental talent level and competitive spirit within their locker room, especially considering how much potential this roster was supposed to possess entering the season. Meanwhile, Coach Stephanie White deserves enormous credit for maintaining team chemistry and competitive focus during what could have been a difficult period without their franchise player. The way White has managed rotations and kept everyone engaged speaks to her understanding of team psychology and her ability to maximize the talent available on any given night. Her tactical adjustments throughout this game were particularly impressive, making the right substitutions at crucial moments and putting players in positions where they could succeed. The cultural transformation within this Fever organization has been remarkable to witness. They've gone from a team that struggled with consistency and mental toughness to a group that genuinely believes they can compete with anyone regardless of circumstances. This transformation didn't happen overnight, but rather through months of consistent messaging and reinforcement of professional standards that have created accountability throughout the entire roster. What makes this victory even more significant from a championship perspective is how it demonstrates that Indiana's success isn't dependent on Clark playing at a superhuman level every single night, but rather on a sustainable system that allows multiple players to contribute meaningfully when their opportunities arise. The young players on this roster have gained invaluable experience during Clark's absence, learning how to perform under pressure and contribute to winning basketball in ways that will pay dividends throughout the rest of the season and into the playoffs. The playoff implications of this performance are absolutely enormous. The Fever continue building separation from struggling teams while positioning themselves for favorable postseason matchups when the games become more meaningful and competitive. This performance sends a clear message throughout the league that Indiana possesses the organizational depth and championship culture necessary to make serious noise in the playoffs, regardless of injury situations or roster availability on any given night. At the end of the day, what we witnessed in Chicago represents the final chapter of this manufactured rivalry that was never actually competitive from the beginning. You had Caitlin Clark creating genuine pandemonium while injured and unable to play, demonstrating authentic star power that transcends basketball performance, while Angel Reese conveniently disappeared with another perfectly timed injury that allowed her to avoid potential embarrassment. The financial gap between these players is massive and growing larger every single day, which explains why we see such dramatically different treatment and opportunities, despite what some might consider similar statistical production in certain categories. This was never really a rivalry in the traditional sense. It was always one legitimate superstar and one player attempting to attach herself to that success for personal gain and increased visibility. Clark's ability to take over entire cities without even playing basketball is exactly the kind of transcendent talent that changes organizations and elevates everyone around her to higher levels of performance and expectation. The trap has officially been taken over. The city belongs to Clark. And the manufactured drama has been permanently ended by the kind of authentic star power that can't be argued with or explained away through clever marketing strategies.